Good morning and welcome to Foam Rollerama with me, Vivian. Today we're probably not going to use the big foam roller, but that doesn't mean that you can't. If that's what you've got, let's use it. I've got my trigger point foam roller here with all the funky grooves. We're going to be using the foam roller for a little myofascia release session. So this is a 30-minute session. My name is Vivian, and we'll start from the feet and work our way up with some of the targeted areas where large muscle groups meet, like near the shoulder, the armpits, including the hips, the hip flexors, and we're going to start at the feet. There are over 7,000 nerve endings at the bottoms of the feet, and so when you're ready, let's get started. My foam roller is down on the floor, and it is free to roll back and forth. Just get some stimulation there by rolling your foot, the whole foot, not too fast, and you don't need to get all the way into the toes just yet, just mostly heel through arch and instep. Heel through the arch and the instep. If you want to slow down, slow down. If you want to target that groovy, bumpy area, then get right on it and slow down. This should feel good. We're getting right onto the bulk of the bottom of the foot, which is called the plantar surface. Your feet, if you think of it like in terms of a house or architecture, your feet are the foundation of your body. First thing you do when you get up out of bed, you make your way to the bathroom, you're on your feet. So you've got to be sure that your feet are strong and also awake, alert, that all the nerve endings are stimulated and sending messages up to your brain. We've spent a few moments now massaging the bottom of the foot, so let's get now into turning the foot toward you and massage in between and at the sole, the pads of the toes. Just a little quick sort of finger massaging through the bottoms of the feet. There's also some research to show that a little bit of a sort of a slapping, awakening, stimulating the bottom of the foot all the way to the heel, ball of the foot, and the toes. I'm going to now insert all my fingers between the toes, and this may be really difficult. If you've never done anything like this before, you're thinking, well, my toes don't spread like my fingers, so do the best you can. Get in between the toes just as much as you can tolerate, and then your leg is at rest. We're just going to stir the foot around. Think of it as cranking around. So I'm using my arm to crank my ankle around. Just a little bit of rotation here. Reverse the rotation. Use your hand to crank the ankle. You don't have to rely on any muscles of the ankle to crank the foot around. Ooh. Point, flex. Oh, point, flex. And if you're not able to interdigitize, then you can just use your fingers and pull the toes back. Pull the toes back. Point the foot long. Make the foot long as you point the toes, like you would if you were a dancer. All right? Second foot. I'm looking for my, there we go, stimulating knobby surface. Getting a good massage on the bottom of the foot. And as I said before, there's over 7,000 nerve endings at the bottoms of your feet. That goes all the way from the toes, all the way to the back of the heels, all the way up through the instep and the arch. Make sure you're trying to hit as many of those points as you can from the arch to the heel. I also roll a little to the outside of the foot. I roll a little to the inside of the foot. Those rotations have names too. As I fall in on my arch, that's pronating. As I fall out on the outside, that's supinating, supine. Pushing through the heel a few more times. I like the little knobby section on this very expensive foam roller. Be as heavy as you want there. Now, as I cross my leg, toe massage, right, with my thumb, push, stimulating the ends of the toes. Kind of like, I don't know if you were like rubbing something off of the bottom of your foot. Like if you stepped on paint, you know, you might want to do these individual scrubs. All right, a little slap. Ooh, instep. Ooh, heel. Ooh, wake up. All right, now I've got my 5 fingers. As Probably 4 fingers. My thumb's on the outside. Oh, this foot is not as pliable as my other foot. Do what you can. So as you get through, spreading the toes, right? Then interdigitize. You can get your fingers. This foot is not as cooperative. Now, I'm cranking my ankle around. I'm using my hand and my arm to move my foot at the ankle joint. Yeah, not too fast. Reverse. Feel what you're doing. Appreciate the rotation. And then I'm going to point the foot, remove the toes, really try to point, creating a high instep, and then flex. I'll use my hands to flex, stretching the bottom of the foot, the plantar surface. If you've ever had plantar fasciitis, you've heard of it. That is an inflammation of the fascia at the plantar surface of your foot. Stretching manually, using your hands. Point the foot nice and long, stretch out that long leg like a dancer. Now, before we go onto the floor, we're going to do a moment of standing. So I've got the knobby section up, and even if you're using a regular foam roller. Now, because this foam roller is built around sort of a plastic cylinder, it's very firm. I'm able to put a lot of weight down on this roller. If you're on a styrofoam foam roller, you'll need to be careful because if you're too heavy, you might create an indentation. I'm able to put down a whole lot more weight as I'm standing, so we're just going to do it a few more times, not too fast. Rolling out, supinating, rolling in, pronating. All right, I'm ready to move to the second leg. Get your balance. Awakening the bottom of your feet. Wake up! It's going to be a dreary day. We're getting the last effects of the Hurricane Zeta. But it's a perfect day to be indoors and doing a little exercising. All right. So now I'm going to place the foam roller down on the end there and change my camera angle a little bit. Meet me on the floor. Come on down. I'll meet you there. On the floor. I'm using on the foam roller underneath just one leg, and I'm going to be rolling that foam roller so that it's just basically under my calves. As you may or may not know, you'll need to first use your leg, but you'll also need to use your hands if you're elevating your rear end. Elevating your rear end will allow you to get a much longer range of motion. I'm on my calves going north-south. Whatever direction the foam roller is going is just north-south. The foam roller cannot go east-west. It just goes north and south. You, however, can go rolling to the left and rolling your leg to the right, which I refer to as east-west. As I turn my leg out, I'm on the greater bulk of my shinny shin, yay, my shin muscles, and this would be a foot supinated, supine. As I roll to the other side, I'm on the inner aspect of my calves. On the inner aspect of my calves, which I basically wore out yesterday, running up and down the exorcist stairs. My calves. This foot turned in is pronating. All right. I am going to also show you that you can place your other leg on top, which will basically double the weight, and deepen, deepen the massage into your calves and shins. Oh, geez. So, of course, do what you can and only do what you can tolerate. All right, I'm going to the second leg. I'm going through these exercises. You're going to spend as much time as necessary. Here I am starting with just purely my leg weight, just the weight of my leg. A little rolling. I'm basically at the bottom of the calf, the soleus. As I launch my body off the floor, I'm a little heavier, and I can get a longer range of motion. I can get all the way to the top of my calf. The big bulk is the gastrocnemius. As I rotate my leg, toe sideways or arch up, supine. Oh, I'm on the shin muscles. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. As I roll my leg to the other side, east-west. I'm on the inner aspect of my calves. Man, that part is so sensitive. Whew. So as they say, if you find your sweet spot, you might want to sit on that for a little bit. Sit on your sweet spot for a little bit. Just as much as you can tolerate. And then of course remember, this could be much more effective or intense. Oh! When you've got the other leg on top. Because the weight of that leg is bearing down onto the foam roller and that muscle. Gee whiz. Alright, so I'm done with my calves. And remember, if you're watching this video at another time and you want to stop, you can stop, pause, continue to massage, and then pick up the tape from that point on. Here I am now, hamstring. The bulk of the hamstring. It's a great big bunch, like looking at a great big meatloaf, sort of. All the way from the base of your butt bones down to the insertion at the back of the knee. From butt bone to knee, a big bulk, like a loaf of bread or a meatloaf. Oof. Again, you can double up. If you cross your leg, you might get twice as much weight, the weight of both legs on that foam roller. Rolling back and forth as much as you think necessary and effective. Before I go to the buttocks, I'm going to do the other hamstring. Let me move this roller over. If you're finding that this is becoming tough on your hands and wrists, you can try to drop down on your forearms. You might have to use the other foot to help motorize you forward and back. Keep that leg that's on the roller as heavy as you can. Bear down. I'm going to make minor adjustments. Always good to make adjustments when necessary. I feel like I could be more effective if I cross the leg and make that leg, a little heavier on the roller. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel it now. Ooh. All right. And so now we'll make the big transition. You'll need to get your rear end onto the roller. And because I'm on a really well-built, strong structured foam roller, this won't collapse. I'm just giving you that warning that sometimes the styrofoam foam rollers will tend to dent a little. So don't sit in one spot too long or your butt bones will leave a permanent indentation in the foam roller. Of course I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating. Trying to draw the focus away from the massage at my butt bones. Your gluteus maximus. There's also other muscles just a little lower, gluteus minimus. And there's the gluteus medius, which is higher up at the hippie hip. Okay. So I'm at the gluteus medius now, higher at the hip bone on the back side of my hips. I am rolling forward and back, north, south, and very slowly making an adjustment as I come more toward the center. More toward the center. More of the gluteus maximus. I'm using this leg and my arms as the motor that sends me forward and back. Leg on the floor is basically just limp. Jesus. I am going to shift to the other buttock now. Oh man. So at the base of the buttocks, the bottom of the bulk of your butt, at the top of your hamstrings, that's called the subgluteal fold. The area where I've heard teachers refer to as the underbutt. Really? The underbutt. Subgluteal fold. So I'm giving a thorough massage of my subgluteal fold. And as I get, I am targeting more gluteus medius. Oh, God. Gluteus medius. The gluteus medius muscle here at the top of the hip is responsible for your leg rotating out. Assists in abduction when opening the legs. Gee whiz. This side is a little more sensitive than the other side. Excuse me while I have a moment here. Oh, gracious. All right, and now I want to center myself and really try to get most of the center of my glutes. Oh, maybe I need to be in the middle. Here I go. I can feel the top of the glutes to the bottom of the sacrum, and I'm really massaging mostly surface muscles, not too deep, and avoiding just lumbar. You don't want to be just at the lumbar spine. Those are the 5 vertebrae of the low back. You don't need to go all the way there. Just to the tops of your waistband on your shorts. All right, butt down, moving the foam roller just a tiny bit. Now it's under the shoulder blades. The bottom of the shoulder blade is the sub something or other border, sub border I think, border. It's the bottom border of the shoulder blades. Ooh. So I'm just doing a generic forward and back, north, south. As I shift my weight a little heavier, which this would be my right shoulder blade, and then raising the arm, which will open your shoulder blades across the back, protracting the shoulder blades. Gee whiz. Okay, that's enough. I'm going to the other side. Oof. I am focusing now by me rotating to my left, which would be like west. Oof. I am on the, it's considered the medial border of the scapula, the edge of the shoulder blade. As I raise my arm, the shoulder blade is opening across my back. Oh, I can get to the rhomboids. I want to cut. All right, so maybe you're not feeling it the way I'm feeling it. I am about as heavy as I can be. My body weight is on, and I am manipulating the shoulder blade, pulling the shoulder blade wide across my back and rolling on it. I gotta give it a break. So I am going to just lie back over the roller and be careful of your head and neck. I'm going to hold my head. Once you get your head back to a position that you can tolerate or comfortable, I'm going to straighten both legs. My legs are long and they're open comfortably, about as wide as the mat. This is a spine extension as we extend through the spine. Your head is kind of heavy, so if your head isn't on the floor, you may need to support your head, which is what I'm doing now. Rescue your head. I'm going to move the roller just a little bit lower to the shoulder blade's bottom. Oh yeah, this feels great. Pardon my drooling. All right, but we're not done. So, lifting your head, while we're here, we'll spend a moment at the latissimus dorsi. These muscles here, sometimes they're called wings. I got the knobs. So not so much rib bones, but more, those lat muscles. That's what makes the V shape of a gentleman's back especially noticeable when you've got a bodybuilder who turns their back to the judges. You know, you see the wide V of their back. Those muscles are your latissimus dorsi. If we were birds, pterodactyls, those would be the muscles that lift and lower our wings. Pterodactyl wings. I'm on my latissimus dorsi and can hardly talk. Do what you can to get to that area. Sometimes arm up, right? You're more on the armpit side. I prefer my arm up and away. So the shoulder blade is open. And now, I'm on my lats again. I got to do the other side, but instead of turning my back to you, I'll bring my roller to the other side. Have to find my lats. Yay, there they are. Found my lats. I like my arm up so the shoulder blade is open. Protracted. Jeez, I'm heavy. this side is always more kinked up than the other. Why is that? Oh, yay. So, you should be feeling it, experimenting, explore those great muscles of your lats. I'm on my lats here. A little bit of the lower trapezius, lower traps. Oof. And be careful not to fall down. As my foam roller goes back and forth, north, south. As I shift my weight a little, I'm going east. I shift to the other way. Oh, west. Oh, gee, west. Oof. Oof. We have finished the back. Now I get to turn over. The foam roller is now under the bulk of my thigh. You know them as your quads. Quads. Start right at the center of the thigh, the quads. My other knee is on the floor, so it's stationary. And I am massaging the quadriceps femoris. Oh. I'll continue to go north, south with the roller, but also roll my leg a little to the east. And then rolling in the other direction would be the west, and that's going to help me target a little more of the inner thighs. Just a little bit of the inner thigh. Not as easy to get. Try bending that knee, lifting the knee toward you. That would be to like a knee lift while you are lateral on your side. Knee lift. Ooh, ah. And I can get, I got it. I got the inner thigh right there. Whoa. Inner thigh. Ooh, right there. All right, I'm returning to the center bulk of my thigh, my quads, closer to the knee. Ooh. And if you want to double up the weight, you can place the other leg on top. Oh, this is a little too much for me, so you decide if you can tolerate. Oh, jeez. Yep, so you decide. I'm returning to one leg. A little more of my outer thigh here, close to the IT band and the piriformis. The IT band, piriformis, sometimes difficult to distinguish. All right, I'm ready to shift to the other side. Let's see if we can't give the same amount of love to thigh number 2. Find a position that works best for you with your hands down or your elbow down or both elbows down. Concentrate on the length of your thigh from all the way to basically the tip of your kneecap toward the hip flexors. My foam roller just goes north and south, but I can roll my body a little to the east and a little to the west. And if you're trying to get to the inner thigh specifically, you'll need to sort of angle that roller a little bit and allow, like you're doing a knee lift, or maybe like a spider crawl or a G.I. Joe crawl. I think you know what I mean, when you're face down and your knee comes in the direction of your shoulder. So as I bend the knee and I bring my knee lift up like toward my shoulder, I can feel the inner thigh getting, All right. Whew. This is becoming a little too intimate for me. All right, I'm centering and returning again to the bulk of the thigh. In a moment, I'm going to concentrate on just the hip flexors alone. So I'm scooting back a little bit, and I'll get to the hip flexor on this side since I'm here. Hip flexor, hip flexor. Your hip flexor, by the way, is right here. It's where the crease of your hip is. Like when you're wearing your tight jeans and you try to stick your fingers down into the pockets, and you can't get any farther than that, right where your palm is where your hip flexors are. Those hip flexors help to flex the hip. Hip flexion is also when you lift your knee. Like when you're climbing stairs, you got to lift that leg and place it on the step in front of you. your hip flexors lifted that knee. Oh. And hip flexors tend to be pretty darn tight. The anatomically correct name for your hip flexors is psoas and iliacus, and combined, often called the iliopsoas. Iliopsoas. Okay, enough of that anatomy lesson. We got to get to the other side. So this is my iliacus and psoas on the second side. Try to be as heavy as you need to be, or heavy as you can tolerate, and roll it. You can roll to the outside edge, closer to the hip bone. The actual hip bone there is your greater trochanter. Or roll a little more to the inside, and you're, yeah, pretty darn close to your pubic symphysis. Okay. I've had enough of that. Just so you know, there are ways to exercise the arm, and I'll demonstrate that here. I am placing the foam roller parallel with the mat at about my shoulder level, and rolling my body away and return. Then you just need to make some adjustments. For me, it needs to be closer. This is mostly my biceps, the front of the arm right here, my guns, when I turn my thumbs down. If I turn my palm up, I may have to change the angle of the roller a little bit. Ooh, that's my triceps. Ooh, that's my triceps. And my roller's just about 3 inches too far. There we go. So your hand is sort of asking for more. Give me more. Can I have some more? Oof. I have to do my other arm. Okay. So my foam, let me turn over. So my foam roller starts parallel with the mat at about shoulder height, thumbs down, boom, right on the bulk of my biceps. Roll your body. Basically, the foam roller goes north-south. This doesn't feel as effective. There we go. Oh yeah, I found it. Ooh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my. Ooh ah ooh. All right. Make a minor adjustment. Turn palm up. And get to your triceps. Triceps. Excuse me. All right. You know you can play with that a little longer on your own. My foam roller will go under my neck now. My foam roller is under my neck, and I'm going to center my body so that I'm a little bit down. Ha. Feet flat, so the sacrum can be balanced. There's no imbalances in my sacrum now. I'm evenly weighted across my sacrum, and my feet are just a tiny bit wider than my hips. Not a big deal. Just be sure that the rest of your body is properly aligned, since we're talking about, your neck and your head. Those are very important parts of the body and very heavy. So as I roll my head to face the camera, I am massaging the bottom of my skull as I turn my head the other way. The back of my head, not the absolute back, but the lower back of my head, is getting a bit of the massage. Slow motion, like you're the oscillating fan. I've got an oscillating fan right there. And as the fan oscillates to the left, I'm going to turn my head at the pace of my oscillating fan. Turning away, turn your head, keep turning. You can make minor adjustments with the roller. Some people are perfectly happy with the foam roller way up under the neck, and others prefer that the foam roller is a little bit further back. And so now my neck is unsupported. The back of my head, which is the maximum part of the curvature, it's called the occipital point. My occipital point is balancing on the roller. I'm going to hold it so it doesn't roll away. Now, I'll roll my head from side to side, and the massaging is across the back of the skull. Finally, hold on to that roller so it doesn't roll away, and tuck your chin to your chest. Take your time and don't be too forceful, but intend to tuck your chin down to your chest. And then a bit of a lift as best you can. I'm lifting, 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 and I'll do it again. I want to hold on to my roller so it doesn't roll away, and I will intend to tuck my chin down to my chest. And then one more time. I'm bringing my roller back under my neck. I liked it there, supporting the curvature of the neck. I'm going to bring my feet much, much closer and elevate my rear end. So I'm very heavy on my neck. Hips are down. Probably not a good idea for everybody. If you're a little older and you know you've got some osteoporosis or osteopenia, you don't want to be so heavy on the bones, especially the bones of your neck. All right, so I did it once, I won't do it again. All right, carefully remove the roller and bring the roller so that it's down by your hips, and leave your head down. As much as you can, just leave your head down. I am going to get that roller, yikes, just underneath my pelvis. Just underneath my pelvis. My hips are lifted. Depending on your roller, it's probably secure, but there's a chance that it could just shoot out from underneath you, or it might wedge out from underneath you. So be conscientious. Straightening your legs. Let's get a nice stretch through the legs. Point and flex. I'm alternating. Flex one and point the other. Circulate the foot. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, and reverse. I'm going to bend the knees and press the soles of my feet together, and using my hands, holding on to the ankles. Draw your feet down toward you and use your elbows to push your thighs away. Both of my thighs are turned away with my kneecaps turned, pointing in the opposite directions. Woo! Make sure you're breathing and not losing the roller. Mine is about to sneak out from underneath me. Last stretch here, both legs up. Let gravity do some work for you. Gravity pulls the legs down. If you're secure on your roller, then hold on to your ankles instead. Pull your legs toward you. Don't hold your breath. Flex one time, give it a little extra tug and a stretch. Hold on to one leg and let the other leg go down, 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 as close to the floor or on the floor if you can. I firmly believe that my legs are just not long enough to get to the floor because it's just right there. And if my leg were like 3 inches longer, I would be on the floor. Switch one time. You're getting dual stretching. Here's the hamstring and the hip flexor. This leg is like 3 inches short of hitting the floor. There it is. But I don't want to hyperextend my back. Yeah? Stretch whatever you need here. We're going to be finishing up now. Let's remove the roller, and careful as you melt down to the floor. Put the roller aside. Feel your back. And then rolling like a ball. Give it a little extra kick and stay as rounded as you can, like a ball. When you come to seated, demonstrate you've got balance, control, sitting a little bit taller through the spine, straightening your legs, reaching your arms up, wide, front, and then you can lower your legs down. Nicely done. This concludes your foam Rollerama for today. It's Thursday before Thanksgiving. Thursday before Halloween of 2020, the strangest year in the history of the world. Thanks again. All my classes are posted. Trapezius. All my classes are posted up on my YouTube channel, Fit with Viv. So whatever you're doing this weekend, wherever you're going, whatever costume you're wearing, whatever candy you're eating, stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Tuesday at 11:30 is Pilates mat. Next Thursday at 11 is foam Rollerama. Thanks again. Bye.